We live in an absolutely crazy world. Many people have been telling us for years on social media, prophetic channels, and even the Q boards, if you follow those, that we are watching a movie. So the question I've got is if we are really watching a movie, what kind of a movie is it? We've got real wars where real people are dying. We've got pandemics or contrived pandemics, many people dying, rape, murder, torture, genocide, blood all over the place, corrupt officials, corrupt businesses, fraud, deception, lies, satanic sacrifices, child trafficking, human trafficking, drugs flooding into countries, unjust judges ruling unjustly, sending innocent people to prison. What's going on? Is this really a movie, like we're told by many people? Welcome to the channel. I trust that God is blessing you, and today is the 21st of January 2026. So the question really becomes, what sort of a movie is this if we are indeed watching a movie? So I gave this some thought and I've put down a number of points that I just want to throw out there to maybe help explain things a little bit better if this is a movie. Give you some food for thought. Now, as in any movie, obviously you need actors. Actors are very important for any movie. But there's also talk about things such as clones. I mean, would a clone take part in a movie? Well, going back to actors, a number of years ago, in 2020 actually, I said that President Joe Biden was already gone. He was deceased, and I took a lot of flack for that. Since then, many people have actually said that the person who Joe Biden was not a real, it wasn't really him. It was an actor, or it was actually a number of actors playing him at different times. And it is interesting that the current president, Donald Trump, actually said that Joe Biden was gone and he's been gone for a while. He said this and it's been out there on social media, Trump Social also, I believe. I think it even made the mainstream news. So it doesn't sound so crazy anymore. Actors. Now we're told that there are many people that are actually gone, and the people that you're seeing that you think are those people are actually actors. That's what's being reported all over social media and many different channels. Also, this talk of clones. I myself, and I'm quite sure you have, I've seen many times on videos, and I'm talking going back quite a few years, so I'm not going to ascribe everything to AI, but big names, and they're talking. I'm talking about politicians here. And it's like they almost seize up. It's like the battery has gone flat. So again, it makes me think clone, robotics, what's going on here? But there's a lot of people talking like this now, so it's not something that's just so obscure and so rare. No, it's becoming a very common thing for people to talk about. And then you've got doubles, which is very common in movies, especially for stunt men and stunt women, where they don't want the main actor to potentially get injured. So they have these professional stuntmen, stuntwomen, and they play the part as a double looking like the actor. And actually, for many, many years, a lot of famous people, and I even believe Winston Churchill actually used doubles in some situation. So it's not unusual for people to use doubles. And then there's the term doppelganger. And I actually took some notes about this, and I didn't put down the meaning of double. I actually had it in my head, but look it up. I think it might mean some sort of sinister double or something like that. So, are all these taking part in the movie? Actors, clones, doubles, and doppelgangers. That's out there for your thought. Another thing I want to sort of throw out there. So, is it a case that a lot of prophets are seeing things, and I'm talking about genuine prophets, they're actually seeing these things and they're putting it out there? Because there seems to be so many prophecies and predictions that have been given over many years, and these things are playing out exactly as said, especially if you look at the cue boards, and I am going to look at that in a little bit. So it could be that obviously God Himself has seen the whole movie. He's seen everything. He's seen the end from the beginning. In fact, let me just read to you two verses from Isaiah chapter 46, verses 9 and 10. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So, certainly, God has seen the whole movie of history itself. He knows the end from the beginning. He's watched all of history. He knows every little detail, every little blade of grass that sways in the wind, every insect that scurries. Maybe 1,000 years ago, 2,000, 5,000, he knows absolutely everything. He missed nothing. So are his prophets all coming together, giving little bits and pieces and creating this big picture of the movie that we're watching? Then there is this thing called Project Looking Glass. Now, I don't really want to go into this, so if you want to do some research yourself, just Google or whatever search engine you use, Project Looking Glass. But it's a technology that I personally believe that has been used by very evil people, but also good people. But it's technology that allows you to look into the future, actually almost like a, not quite time travel, but gazing into the future. Now, you might think that's science fiction. And, when I first started looking into these things, I thought that, that's a bit far fetched. But Ecclesiastes tells us, and there's nothing new under the sun. Let's just go back in Genesis. I want to just read to you, I think it's only just one verse from Genesis chapter 11. It's the Tower of Babel, and it's verse 6. And the Lord said, Indeed, the people are one, and they all have one language, and this is what they begin to do. Now, nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. So God's talking about going down and scattering them because they're almost completed the Tower of Babel. And that's what's happened today. We're almost at the completion of this tower. But God is saying, you might have one or two bricks left to lay, but you're not going to get to do it. Just like in Genesis chapter 11, God will bring it down. But it's interesting to say that God says nothing will be beyond them if they get to complete this. they'd obviously developed various technologies and knowledge and all the rest of it. Now, if you know about the fallen angels that came down to Mount Hermon, we know that forbidden knowledge was given to mankind. So Project Looking Glass is not far-fetched, in my opinion. And is it a case that they saw all these things? Now think about The Simpsons, for you, those of you that might be fans of The Simpsons. They seem to have an uncanny record of predicting things years in advance through their cartoons. Now, that's a cartoon movie, you could say. So what exactly is going on here? And so that brings me to the sort of last point I want to bring up, and that is Q itself. Now, it is believed that Q first started round about the 60s with President John F. Kennedy and a few generals. And they understood what was going on in the world with the deep state, the elites, the Illuminati, and the plan to create a new world order and basically enslave mankind, blah, blah, blah. And so they opposed this, just like the current administration in the United States opposes it, and various people around the world. In every government, you've got very good people, and you've also got evil, dark people who want this horrible agenda. So anyway, this small group got together, and it's believed Q itself was only a core when it began of maybe 4, 5, 6 people. I don't know exactly. And it's not much bigger today, I believe. Excuse me. See, there's a difference between what you hear as QAnon and Q. QAnon are a bunch of people who are putting information together and just putting it out there for the benefit of the people to let them chew over it and think about some of the things that they are saying. So it's almost like they're independent reporters reporting what's going on all over the world in many, many different countries. But Q itself is just a small group. Now, my own thoughts, and I'm not sold on this, but is it a case that it was a move of God and these people were actually born again believers, or at least 2 or 3 of them were, and they were getting downloads from God, and they were writing everything down. And eventually in 2017, when the Q board started appearing in all these posts, initially in 4chan, but putting down all this information. And you see it, if you read all the Q posts, everything is coming to pass. It even talks about names, about certain people, talks about certain countries, political events, things that are going to happen. It's like a script, and it's playing out exactly like a movie. So, is it one of these things that I've mentioned, or is it a combination of all 4? I suspect it could be a combination of all these 4 points that I've raised. I do believe we are watching a movie, but it's not a movie like how people might think. We are watching prophetic events play out in real time. That is why real bad things are happening, real people are dying. Good things are happening, great things are happening. But at the end of the day, we are watching something that has been scripted, and those Q boards absolutely brought that to the fore. I can't see, even if it was a bunch of men with the best minds in the world, there's no way they could have put this together to make it work out the way it's working. There is no way. What is in those boards, in my opinion, is absolutely 100% prophetic. And I believe Q was started by God. And I believe God is cleaning house right now. You're seeing the tumultuous times that we're in. I believe personally we're heading into great times, but a lot of people are going to misconstrue this and panic, thinking the world's coming to an end and it's all doom and gloom. No, I believe we are getting a period of respite. I've said in the past, I think it could be about 7 years, paralleling the Joseph narrative of 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine, paralleling the tribulation. That's for another time. That's what I think is happening. But if we don't understand what's really going on, we will go into panic ourselves. You know, excuse me, the scripture says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. We need real good quality knowledge. And I believe God is providing it through us, not just through those cue boards, but by genuine prophets today who are telling us what's coming. And we need to pay attention. And above all, let's make sure it all lines up with the scripture. And it does. It does. So I think great times are ahead, but also prepare yourself for incredibly great shaking, because as shaken as it has been, and I'm telling you, I'm out here in Indonesia, and you've got storms, volcanic eruptions, all sorts of things happening like it's going out of fashion. This country's shaken, and let me tell you, all nations are going to shake. But the great thing is, God is shaking a lot of evil out of this world, a lot of evil and corruption. So take heart, friends. We're watching a movie, and the movie has got a great ending. God bless you all. Bye bye for now.